Hi there, welcome. Thanks so much for checking out this video. I'm here today talking a little bit about the Subtle Yoga Resilience Society 2.0. We have upgraded our membership, and there's been a bunch of people have had questions and have been asking me about what's going on in the Resilience Society. And I thought I'm just going to hop on and make a little video, and I hope that this is helpful for deepening your understanding about what's going on with my membership group. So I started the Resilience Society 3 years ago. I can't believe it. It was in 2020. And really, the whole point was just that we were in lockdown and people wanted to study yoga, and it was a great time to study yoga, of course. So I just started it up, and it gained much more traction much more quickly than I expected. And what I started to learn was that there was a real desire, a real need out there for instruction, for people to learn how to better do and better teach slow mindful yoga, way beyond the slow down the flow or gentle yoga. That's not what I teach. I don't teach gentle yoga. I don't teach slow flow yoga. I teach nervous system focused yoga. It is nuanced, it's complex, it's layered, and it's also very simple. It's all of those things. But it's quite different than sort of what you see being taught out there in on in mass media, in the mass media, in the social media. So I was surprised and delighted that so many people from all around the world were interested in studying subtle yoga with me, and then things just grew. So what we decided, hey, the pandemic's over. Are we going to keep going? And so many people said, yeah, please keep going. We want to keep studying with you. And so we decided to upgrade. So if you are already a member of the Subtle Yoga Resilience Society, where nothing is changing except we've added some great new features. So that's why I hopped on here. I just wanted to explain a couple of things. So one is that here's how the group works. You sign up for the Facebook group. It's called Subtle Yoga Resilience Society. You have to go through us first, because it is a membership. And then you have, and if you're not on Facebook, that's okay, because we also have a platform called Kajabi, which is where we store all of the videos. We have a huge library of videos in there right now. So every week you get a live class. If you're on Facebook, it's 9:30 on Wednesdays Eastern Time. And that class is usually, well, it is always every month we have a different theme. So there's a mini workshop for about 30 minutes and then a class. And then because so many people wanted shorter classes, on the second and third Wednesday, I do classes that are asanas plus with a focus on pranayama on the second. And then the third Wednesday is asanas with a focus on meditation. So asanas to prepare for pranayama, asanas to prepare for meditation. And those classes are only like 40 minutes, 35 to 45 in that range, but about 40 minutes long. So again, when you're busy, you can still catch one of these shorter classes. And then the last week rather is of the month is a 1 hour asana practice. So that 1 hour asana practice and everything is based on whatever theme we're working on. So for example, this month we're working on thyroid health. Last month we were talking about the endocrine system. Previously we'd been talking about the immune system. We've done guides on the knees, on the hips, on the shoulders, on the neck. I mean, it's just feet and ankles, many, many different topics that are of interest. And the topics are always driven by the membership, like what people are really interested in. That's what we explore. So what's new about the group is that we have added, we're doing a quarterly workshop with an expert from the yoga field. So we have wonderful people that are coming in for some of these workshops on topics like Ayurveda, Sanskrit, women's health. We have a bunch of other things. So we've got these 4 workshops that is included. What's also included is that we started to curate monthly research studies. So we take everything that's coming out, we keep abreast of that. we have a connection to a university library, and they send us the research studies that come out every month. We go through and we pull out stuff that's not so relevant. We put the relevant stuff into a document. You get to just keep up with the cutting edge research that's happening with yoga. And that's something that's very much a passion of mine, and I'm really excited to share that. So that's a new bonus. Then the next, so are the guest workshops, and there's another bonus I can't remember off the top of my head, but we do have a special bonus, if you like, and that is I have asked a marketing expert to come and do a marketing workshop. People ask me a lot of times if I will do marketing workshops, and I'm always like, I'm a yoga teacher who uses marketing. I'm not a marketing expert, so I don't teach marketing because I really don't understand it well enough to teach it. But I do know people who are really good at marketing. So we're going to have a special bonus marketing workshop. I just remembered the last one. So the last special bonus is we are giving even deeper discounts to folks who are in the Subtle Yoga Resilience Society for my biannual workshop. So I teach 2 workshops a year, one in the fall, one in the spring. They are on all sorts of topics, things like chair yoga. I did chair yoga. I think the last one I did was on the health of the low back and the sacrum and the hips. This fall, I'm going to be teaching a workshop on, trying to remember off the top of my head. It'll come to me in a second. What was it? Oh, sequencing. That's right. So I'm teaching a workshop on sequencing, the sequencing for the nervous system. So, so these things are, I do these, I've been doing this stuff for years, actually, these biannual workshops. But I only started to take them online in 2019, I think. So anyway, that you are welcome to join us for those. And when you're a member, you get almost more than a 50% discount. I think the regular rate is $347, but when you're a member and you get in on the early bird rate, it's $177. So you get this like fantastic discount on the on my larger training. So there's many, many different reasons to join the Resilience Society. I think the biggest reason is for yourself and that it gives you that little push and that supportive community to show up for practice every week, which is so important. Self-care is everything, right? It's so that's a little bit of the difference of what was happening in the Resilience Society before and how we have upgraded. I hope that makes sense to you. If you're not quite sure, please check out or you want to know more, please check out the link that I put in the description of this video. If you're already a member of the Subtle Yoga Resilience Society, you don't do anything. You will be getting all the great features that we've had for this whole time, plus some updates. So please don't worry. We're not doing something brand new. We're just adding something. Oh, and I wanted to say one more thing, which is if you're brand new and you're like, oh, I don't know, she's been talking about this stuff for so long, for 3 years, and how am I going to keep up with it? Please know that in July and August, I'm doing the theme for the month in the Resilience Society for July and August are going back to the basics. So we're going back to the basics in July, where we're going to be talking about structural breath, linking breath to movement. We're going to be talking about the energetics of yoga. So how you use practices to create nourishment and energy, and how you use practices to reduce and let go of stress and tension. We're going to be talking about the autonomic nervous system and then the Vayus and some of the other topics. So we're getting into the real basic. We're going back to the basics so that you will feel like you're ready to go. And somebody just asked me tonight, if you just joined, like, what are you supposed to do with all the content that's in there? I feel like I can't handle it. You just don't do anything. You just come on Wednesdays. And then when you've got time, if you want, go check out, each of the guides has a topic. So you just go check out one of the topics when you have time, but you don't have to feel like you miss anything. I taught yoga for many, many years in the same places, right? So like one place I taught for almost 20 years. And new people would show up for my classes, and old people who had been there for 15 years would be in my classes. And it wasn't any big deal because you can start where it's nonlinear. You can start wherever you are and you will find something every time. And what's so beautiful about this way of doing yoga is you spiral back, and every time you spiral back to the basics, you pick up something new, you pick up something more interesting. When I used to study in different styles of yoga, the idea was like, this is how you do the pose. This is the right way to do the pose. The way that I have learned and studied and teached and taught, teached, that was good, and taught for the past 20 years or so is that the pose is about you. So that means there are numerous different ways to approach every asana, and those different ways will have different benefits and different effects depending on your intention and what you're trying to do with these poses. So it's all about you and it's all about personalization. I hope this is helpful. Thank you so much for being here. Please leave a comment. It's nice to have you. Thank you for listening. And I hope you can join me tomorrow night. I've got a free webinar. I didn't put the link in there, but if you email us, we'll give it to you. The link to just email support@subtleyoga.com. And the webinar that I'm teaching is called, let me make sure I get it right because the title of it is a little bit long. So it's called How to Leverage the Neuroscience of Yoga for Time Management, Self-Care, and Self-Actualization. I'll talk more. I'll do another live and I'll talk about that a little bit more tomorrow, but I'd love you to join me. It's a free webinar. It's at 8 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. Thanks so much for being here, and I hope to see you soon. Take care.